Hi, it's just me, Heather Danielle. I was thinking about the last video that I made about coping skills for depression, and I started thinking about some of the stuff that I do for my depression. And one thing I love to do is sing. So when I get really depressed, I use music, and I know quite a few other people. Yes, I'm Christian, but I do have a couple things that help. There's certain times when I'm in a mood and I have to listen to some rap. And then there's times I'm a country girl and I have to put on some Reba McEntire. But for me, singing and listening to music is probably one of the best coping skills I have. Outside of, I guess that's probably the best is music. Whenever I get really stressed, I think I turn to music more than anything. I'm not sure if I'm the only one out there who, when they go through periods, uses music. I've heard people say coloring. I'm not really big on coloring with coping skills. Like I said earlier, exercise is definitely the key as far as with your endorphins. I'm trying to think. With me, I have anxiety disorder, so sometimes I seem to catastrophize stuff. So in my mind, it might be a small problem, but I blow it up to this huge thing. So I would say trying to realize at the moment when you're anxious that the worst case scenario isn't always going to be what happens might be a good way to start. I had this CD that one of my counselors gave me, and it's like a meditation, and it helps you release all the negative thoughts. And I tried that for a little bit, but it seemed to have helped her because she had agoraphobia also, and anxiety where she wasn't able to leave her house. And that's one of the techniques that she was trying to show me was the CD that she was using. It's pretty much where you just like relax. You like just relax your eyes. You work through every muscle of your body and you just like let it relax. And then you just start focusing on breathing, and it's a way of clearing your mind and giving yourself clarity, I guess. A lot of different cultures use meditation, a lot of different people, and it seems to work. Prayer to me is a form of meditation. When I get really upset, I will pray. And I'm not talking about just like tears, I'm talking about tears crying down, praying. That seems to be a release. I know it's not always the greatest thing, but crying for me, I don't like doing it in front of people, but that helps a lot. Not to overdo it, but to have that release. I'm still trying to find coping mechanisms. It's still a struggle for me. Making these videos, I found out, is another way that is pretty much of a coping for me too. I know there's different things out there, and I've done a little bit of research, but I was trying to focus mostly on what I know to be successful for me. And like I said when I started this, is music. Music is, and helping people help me cope with my depression. This month is going to be a hard month, but it's life. It seems like the older you get, the more tragedy happens, and it's like every other month there's an anniversary of somebody's birthday or death or something that you miss. Just this past year, I had a girlfriend who was younger than me, a Christian girl, pass away from cancer. That's scared the crap out of me. Not to mention losing her. It's just, you're so young, and I'm at peace as far as knowing where she's at. A month after that, I had a friend kill himself last year. So on top of my own personal tragedies that happened in 2014, I'm not going to say it was an easy year last year. And really after, I would say, September is when I got on my mission to try to help, because when you know somebody who's committed suicide, it makes you feel like there's something you could have done. At the point in time, me and this person weren't exactly on the best of terms. I don't think that person agreed 100% with my decision choices, and I can say the same back. But I feel guilty. So ever since then, I've been trying. Because to be honest with you, I mentioned in other movies, I was jealous at first. I really looked up to this person, and I thought, well, he did it. Why can't I? So I started focusing on a lot of things. Coping skills for myself, because I had been dealing with depression ever since my boys, well, actually when my aunt got murdered, and then, which, that could be debated, you know, my family, everything's debated. And then when PJ passed, I don't think I really started going downhill until I moved. I moved to be closer to family, and a certain individual didn't care about my grieving or the fact that I was in a sensitive spot, and wanted to make fun of some of my life choices and put it on Facebook. Although they never mentioned my name, it was quite obvious to me, which I thought was very insensitive. I mean, I just went through a tragedy, and then you're going to be on Facebook not even a year after the boy's dad's passing, bashing me. I tried to have a relationship with my mom, which I should have known would have resulted in this, because it always does. She stayed neutral. My sister, the person who, you know, she had a page. She started talking about me on a religious basis. She stole posts from my page. She stole posts from my fiance's page at the time. She didn't even take into consideration my children were hurting. I wasn't with their father when he passed, but he was really the only family I could really consider to be true. And I say that because even in their darkest hours, he still sided with me. And now she's on this never-ending campaign of trying to prove that I'm stalking her, which I know my mother knows that's a lie, because in the very beginning when I cut the family off, I messaged her and I told her what Becca was doing on the page. Well, now she has all the pages blocked, but she goes on every single one of my pages. She went on my fiance's page 47 times. She has made a haters page that when I finally posted on Bonanza through my fiance, I jumped on his account and posted some of the proof I had. They finally took that page down. Even on Facebook, she tries to get, not Facebook, but YouTube, she tries to use different aliases on YouTube. There's one particular video that I made that was 100% soul mine, and she was like, oh, you stole this. I bet you she'll get on this video right here and say I stole it, that I had somebody who looked like me make the movie. Yeah, this is a stolen video. I'm got a body double to do it. Sorry I got off topic. But that's really when I realized that I needed to learn on coping skills because I was going through so much of a tragedy pretty much by myself. When you go through something like that, I mean, of course, I'm a fiance. I moved to be closer to family for my children. But there's only a point in time that you could take so much. Um, my mom didn't stand up for me. She didn't care. She didn't even make an effort to be here for the first year anniversary of the kid's death, the dad's death. She wasn't even here for Christmas. My sister got me blocked off of Facebook for Christmas because, of course, me and my big mouth, I mentioned her name. So on Christmas Day, I had it all planned because the boys had family on their dad's side. And, you got to figure he died December 14th and Christmas is only 11 days away. So they got me kicked off of Facebook, which Facebook I really freaking hate because of it, because I didn't do anything but say the truth about my sister blasting my deceased aunt, saying that that's the reason why she wasn't in the family, and called my aunt a bitch. But, knowing me, that isolated and made me escalate. But, you know, I've really had to focus on coping ever since then.